thing on? Oh, thank the Great Spirit. Well, last camera fried from the heat of my forge. If I had to delay one more training recording, the Baki are gonna melt me down for parts. Oh. Anyway, welcome to the first few simple lessons of Ta-Metru Mask Making 101. Now, I am no Gamatoran teacher, that is fairly obvious. But this has been my duty for, well, quite some time now, and I'm hoping to teach you everything you need to know about making masks and, well, how to even provide the toy heroes, ones who keep us safe. Now, where did I put those? Aha. Here. I have a pair of Kanoka discs, very familiar to you all, I'm very sure. But they can be used for so much more than basic sport. For your own sakes, I hope that none of you watching this are participating in duels, but it's your own standing with the law that you are risking by doing so. No, these amazing works of craftsmanship can be heated and carved at your personal forges to create such an absolutely stunning work of art, you'd make a Pomatoran blush by the time I'm done with you. Now, as eager as I'm sure most of you are to start, we need to lay down some basics. The reclamation yards get enough faulty masks and tools sent to it on a daily basis. I don't want any of my next batch of trainees added to that total. Now, whether you're forging a mask for a friend or a business partner or have a full-on commission, every single order requires patience. Rushing to get it done and finish your work will lead to two things happening. One, your work will need to be done over, so you've now used twice the time for a single order. Or two, the Vaki enforcers may investigate why you're suddenly off work sooner than expected. Neither of these results are desirable. So, on that note, I'm going to craft a mask for you right here, right now. I know some of you may be hands-on learners, but I'd rather not risk any injuries or mistakes this early on. I promise you'll get your tools and forged very soon. Okay, now, I've got a pair of discs here. One enlarged power disc from Ta-Metru, as you can see, and one teleport disc from Ta-Metru. Together, they can make a Kanoe mask coated Ruru, or a mask of night vision, which is one of my favorites, personally. Some of you watching might even be wearing my work, and if so, I appreciate the free advertisement. To get started, you'll need to heat up your forge. Whether it's a small personal forge, like used by everyday workers, or a larger industrial one, possibly used by multiple workers at the same time, you need it at the exact right temperature that I'm showing here. Too cool, and you risk the disc cooling off mid-craft and shattering. Too hot, and you'll honestly risk the disc never coming into shape and just melting back down, and then you're having to fight it back into a solid form. If you are doing what I am doing here and melting two discs into one, then you'll want the extreme heat to begin with and then cool it back down to ensure that it has no flaws before you even begin carving it. If the disc is already defective before you ever start, then the mask itself will inherit those same flaws, and once again you will be forced to start over. I myself have made this mistake enough times over the years to recognize a faulty disc from 100 paces off, so never doubt your instincts. It will take you less time to correct any minor mistakes than it will to start completely over. And here we are, my discs are getting warmed up. The disc material is not particularly thick when the protodermis is in this form, so it takes very little time for the forge to melt them back down. And now, here we are. Now that the discs are melted together, we can, well, strike while the metal is hot, so to speak. With this disc of night vision, I can now shape it into the mask of the same power. In order to do so, you'll need your second most important tool to any mask maker, your hammer. It may seem like a simple thing, but with the right application of precise force, you can shape something so simple into a true work of art. Finally, make sure you're wearing your smelting goggles before starting. We're all resistant to heat here in Ta-Metru, that is not news, but not light. So don't go start staring into the shower of sparks that happen every time you go carving something. Now, once we have our proper safety measures in place, as you can see, and our tool is prepared, and the disc is cool enough to start carving, we can begin. You'll want to apply even pressure to the mask with each strike of your hammer, firm and solid motions. Even the tiniest flaw can render a mask completely useless. So, as I said at the beginning of this training video, be patient. You will thank yourself down the line. If the disc begins to cool off too rapidly, you are able to reapply it to your forge to keep it from becoming brittle. Again, that is fine. Don't try to shape it all in one session, or you risk striking the mask again when it's too cold and sending pieces flying all over your forge. Now, pay close attention to how and where I strike, and let us begin. There. And now that we have the majority of the final shape, we can fetch our welding rod and work on the details. This specifically is where you need your goggles to protect your eyesight. Maybe I should commission a mask that has them built in, but nah, different conversation for a different day. Now, where the hammer is deliberate, confident strikes, the welding rod is more of a precision tool, used to soften edges and add sharper details to the mask's overall shape. Once you're a veteran, like myself, you can start adding your own personal flair to the mask design if the order will allow it, but don't get showboaty too early on. It doesn't end well. These fundamentals are what make a great mask maker, and will help you with everything that you make, not just masks, but tools, equipment, furniture, vehicle parts, anything that is used all over the city. Let me put the final touches on this design. Just about done. And there you have it. A Kanoe mask of night vision. As you can see, I added a little more curvature to the eyes and cheek area, but that's just a personal touch. But when working on a specific commission or order, you'll want to stick to the customer's request. This is just the first step on your journey to mastering your duty as a mask maker, but don't worry. I've got plenty more lessons coming hot out of the forge that will be happy to help you. And remember, the Great Spirit guides us all in ways that we can only imagine.